Today we're going to be making a open steak sandwich, which will be grilled, and a lovely crisp beetroot salad. So the first thing we're going to get ready is our beetroot for the beetroot salad. So what we're going to be doing is we've got some water on the stove here. It's not boiled yet. I'm going to be placing 2 beetroots whole into this water. So this is a beetroot. Okay. Now I haven't actually chopped into the beetroot. I've just removed the stem. And I haven't done anything further to the beetroot. I want to keep that beetroot with the skin on and no actual pink flesh exposed. It'll stop the bleeding. So both of those beetroots into my water. Now, as well into that water, I'm actually going to add some brown vinegar. Really helps with the tanginess of the beetroot. About half a cup. And I'm going to add about half a cup of brown sugar as well into that vinegar mixture. And just let that come to the boil and simmer until they are soft and I can piece them with a skewer. To go with my steak sandwich, I'm going to be cooking some caramelized onion. It's a perfect accompaniment to the dish itself. So I've just got 1 brown onion which I've shredded thinly, and I'm just going to now simmer that, saute that with a bit of salt. Salt actually helps release the moisture out of onion as it cooks over a high heat. Now as that cooks, to get part of the caramelization to this, I'm going to add a touch of brown vinegar and brown sugar for that beautiful sweetness into this dish. So just let that saute away now. Nice high heat, really cook that well. So while I've got that simmering, I'll just let you talk. I'll go through the rest of the mise en place I have. So for my sandwich, I've got 2 slices of bread. I've got some nice coral lettuce. I'll have the caramelized onion and some nice fillet steak which I'll grill. For my beetroot salad, I'm going to have my beetroot cooking, which is on the stove behind me. I've got some nice brunoise celery for crunch and crispness, and some sliced up shallots or spring onions for also crunch and the sweetness of the onion. So that onion's nice and sautéed now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add some brown onion to that and a little bit of brown vinegar for flavour. So the brown onion's going to help it go caramelly, sweet, lovely, lovely flavour. Touch more. Just a little bit of brown vinegar, about a teaspoon. Just let that reduce now. Let all that liquid evaporate, and then we'll put that into our container, and that will be our caramelized brown onion completed. There we go. The next stage in my steak sandwich is actually going to be grilling both the sandwich bread and grilling the steak. Now the reason I'm going to grill my bread on this grill plate is to get some really nice appearance of the line. So what I'm going to do is, using a bit of oil, I'm just going to brush my bread with some olive oil, then place that nice and firmly onto my grill. Do that for both slices. Even though it's an open sandwich, you still have to have a top slice, and I'll just be pasting that onto my bread gently. Okay, so while it's down, I'll do the other side. And I'm using a nice sourdough. Now, I'm also going to season my bread. Beautiful. Okay, while that's going, just put some extra oil on the other side of the pan, because this is where I will do my steak. So for my steak sandwich, I've got very, very thin slices of steak. I've trimmed this so it's nice and lean. There's no fat or no sinew on this steak. So I place this directly onto the heat. Now this is only going to take a few seconds to cook, not long at all. So I have a pan ready to place my ingredients in once they're cooked. So what I'm doing is I'm searing and sealing this steak. It's going to have the nice grill lines on it. And I'm just going to let that cook for about 45 seconds each side. I'll turn this bread over now. As you can see, I've got nice grill lines on my bread. So that's going to really help with presentation. Okay, now time to turn the steak. Same thing, I've got some nice grill lines on these steak. So the idea of an open sandwich is that it's very presentable. Okay, so my steak's actually done now. I don't want that cooking any longer. I don't want it any tough. I want it nice and edible. Just finishing off my bread. Beautiful. I can move that over. Okay, so the beetroot's finished cooking, so I'm going to place that onto my bench. Now that's been cooking for about 20 minutes. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to peel this skin off the beetroot and then dice it into sort of large chunks for the body of my salad. Now to do this I'm wearing rubber gloves because beetroot will stain my hands purple and I don't really want that. It's not a great look. So basically just to peel this, all I have to do is I have to tear or pull at, and I might use my turning knife for this, just pull at the skin. Just pulling, scraping across that skin. It's actually very easy, it's very soft. It does get a bit messy. I've got my bowl ready here. And it also is quite hot, so moving quickly is better. So I'm just going to chop the top off, chop that base off, and I have a nice peeled beetroot. Just put that back on my bench. I'm going to do the next one now. Peel. Oh, it's hot. Chop the base off. Chop the top off. Very good. Then my beetroot is done now. I'm just going to chop that into large macédoine, which is 1 centimetre chunks. It's actually slightly less than 1 centimetre. It's about 8 mils. So just give them 8 mil slices. Nice bite-sized pieces they are. Line them up. And that beautiful colour of that beetroot. So I have my lovely macédoine beetroot, nice 1 centimetre cubes. Put that with my preparation. So I'm now going to assemble my beetroot salad. So I'll just put the warmed beetroot into my container, into a bowl, along with some some spring onions, which I have just chopped and diced. I have my brunoise celery, about 1 stem of brunoise celery. To that, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of brown vinegar, 1 teaspoon of brown sugar. I'm just going to combine those just gently. I do not want to combine them too much because I want it to remain quite chunky. And if I stir too much, the green that I really want to see in the spring onion is going to turn purple. So I'm straight away going to put a lovely pile of that onto my my plate, which I'll present the steak sandwich on. So I'm just going to build that just on the side, being very careful because as it falls it's going to spread that purple everywhere. Beautiful. So now I will actually clean my plate straight away so it doesn't stain. I'll do that just with a clean tea towel. Very nice. Okay, now I'll assemble my steak sandwich. So I have my toasted bread, just going to angle that on the side. Going to put some nice coral leaves on my steak sandwich. Now really I'm placing these gently so they will just spill out and spill open. I have my nice caramelised onion, which I'll place on top. And then my 2 steaks, which I'll evenly place over the top. I'll just put a bit more caramelised onion on top. I can have my lid just to the side, and I'll just organise a little garnish with that. Small, crisp, green shallot garnish. Take it over. I'll present it now. So there we have our beautiful steak sandwich with a lovely crisp and crunchy beetroot salad. Beautiful.